otherwise. Don't have that instinct automatically, because remember, some of this stuff is genetic. They either have it or they don't, right? This is what it's all about, people. Look at the boy! He must know that I'm in the dog fight with him. I'm next to him side by side. We have a bond that's unbreakable. Boom! We back. This time, this is our first, this is my first live podcast in my self-made studio.
And my first interview ever.
First interview, right. I could tell you represent Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
Right? I just want to make sure.
Born and raised.
God damn. People, I want to say thanks for tuning in on your Sunday, your day off, your day doing nothing, your day trying to get ready for the following week, which is Monday, which is really the first day of the week is Sunday. And I got my friend here, Eduardo Vasquez, because we put a flyer out, and one of my graphic guys, the graphic guy, he spelled an S without a Z, and I like it, but he said it was wrong, right?
So it's spelled wrong, man.
Yeah. But we got it right? Thumbs up. Shout out to Miles Myers, not Michael Myers. I wanted to bring him on today, people. Again, thanks for tuning in. I want to bring him on today because we did something. I did something. Well, I'm gonna say we did something paramount.
Yeah, for sure. It was a dual thing. We put together a couple of things, brainstormed some shit, and went ahead and just pulled the trigger.
Yeah, and people, when you have a dream and you want it to come to reality, you got to put stuff in motion. Money talks, bullshit walk. And I've been having a connection. First of all, Eduardo, thanks for coming to the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting.
And people, we got a special guest here today too. We're gonna bring him on for like 30 seconds or so, if he can stay still, without whining. And I've been dealing with a guy out in Poland named Mike for a very long time. I would say almost 15 years. And I never really bring him people unless I know those people are serious, because I don't want to have somebody waste his time, and he's already 9 fucking hours ahead, right? Because that's 9 hours ahead of us in West Coast time. And I told her I said, because of CDC regulations, we got to change some stuff up, because we just can't be doing a hope and a prayer and hope that we get a dog that evolves to something that we're hoping, because it ain't promising, right?
Yeah, well, with all these new regulations now, you're getting your dog a lot older now. So if you're trying to work them, what happens? They're going to have bad habits from whatever it is they're coming from, opposed to where you want to put in them.
Yeah, and the issue is that
a lot more money, too.
A lot more money, But the issue is now CDC had passed a law, I think July of last year, and I know you guys like to smoke. We ain't on fire, but we are on fire, but this is incense. I love this. Aromatherapy. Anyway, so I would say that CDC has tightened up the rules and regulations on how young you can import an animal. Now it's 6 months. It had to be 6 months of age to import. And so I said, you know what? Screw this. I said, we can be like, I told Eduardo, I said, my twin brother skipped 9th grade. And how he did it, he went to summer school for 2 years straight. Right? I said, we need to skip 9th grade here. We need to not only get a quality female, but she has to be titled, health tested, and pregnant.
And pregnant by
a champion sire. And we was able to make some connections with Mike. As a matter of fact, Eduardo's brother bought an actual champion sire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Solo limited edition. Correct. To him too.
Yeah, so we just said, let's make this move. We put the things in motion. Eduardo put his money where his mouth was, and he made it happen. And I want to say, what was your mindset in the beginning when I first brought it to you?
Well, I mean, it was a little hard. I mean, obviously dealing with people, in Europe, it's always gonna be hard. But the fact that you introduced me to Mike, I know you guys have a strong connection. It just made me just go more forward with it as far as pushing it, because I mean, trying to get the best over here, and not only that, when the bitch is coming pregnant, you're gonna have the pick of the litter. That's always a positive right there.
Yeah, because when you buying a puppy over there, you may think you're getting first pick, but then your first pick ain't their first pick, and then you're getting the pick that they want you to get because they won't. What I've noticed, what they've done is that, say they have a litter of 10, right? They won't. They only show you 9.
Yeah. Oh, that kind of happened to me, but I mean, it was all good. I got Leia, and she was 4 months when I got her. I got her from St. Creole. Shout out to them too, man. Leia's a worker. Leia's a worker.
Some big shit is happening with her the next 5-6 days. She's dropping her litter, guys. I'm telling you.
March 20th.
Yes, that's the projected date. It may be sooner, it may be a day or two after. I want to talk about the fact that did Mike give you guys like a couple of options for females and a couple of studs to pick from, or what was the options he gave you? Because first of all, there's not a lot of titled females readily available that is young.
Yeah, and they're willing that they want to get willing to sell
because the females makes the money.
Yes.
Right. So my question is, like, what was the options that he gave you guys?
Well, he gave us a couple of females options. The reason we went with this one was because we saw her work. We actually have videos. Those videos will be coming out soon too. And she had a very good drive, and she was good, man. She was beautiful too. She won a couple of junior show titles, so she has both of both worlds, working and show.
My question is to me, I mean, here's the thing, guys. I was talking to a breeder today. Well, yesterday. I was messaging him yesterday. I'm not gonna mention no names, but he had bought a imported female, and that was titled. I don't know if she was pregnant when he brought her over, right? But he was titled, and I was asking him, I said, did you see any videos of her working? He said, no, I got all the certificates, all the paperwork, right? Yeah, this guy's a doctor by day.
Yeah, sometimes.
Without an MD degree. So my question is like, and I was telling him, I was like, did you get any videos of the dog working? And because Mike, we'll let you guys know who Mike is in a minute, because if you guys are needing some good connections for good dogs,
definitely recommend it.
I'm finally letting you guys know my secret, who I've been talking to, who helps me get the dogs that I want, who is well connected in that Doberman game out there in Eastern Europe. But when I was talking to the guy, when I was messaging him, I said, did you get any videos, anything? He said, no, but I got all the paperwork. I got all the certificates. And I'm saying this, people, because over there, unlike over here, over there, titles can be bought.
Yep.
Right? Just like this. It'd be as simple as, give me $500. And I'm always anxious to, when I get a dog that is supposed to be titled, which I never have, is what's the language that the commands are in? And I want to see what will he or she respond to when I'm giving those commands. If this dog ain't doing a fucking thing, when a decoy puts a sleeve on or put a bite suit on or try to do some civil work, we got a problem. You know, that there has to be, like I always say, what's the language that the dog was in?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is that we was able to capture photos and everything. And also, videos. I want to, right. And Mike, I think, did he give you options on which studs that you wanted to use?
Yeah, he gave me options. He referred the best option was kind of Best of Island. He's a top dog out in Europe. He just won a show title about another show title just about a week ago. His daughters are winning show titles. His littermate sister, she was like the IDC Doberman champion or something like that. So he comes from a great litter, and he's producing, and that's the main thing.
And then you get to pick of the litter.
Absolutely, and I will be picking a female.
Now, Mike said that it is possible to, because I saw her, guys, in our next episode with Vasquez European Dobermans, we did an actual episode on the whole process, getting them and picking her up at the airport. So you guys will see that. We'll drop a couple of reels within the next 48, 72 hours, building the excitement up. It's a good experience, and you can learn something from this. But my go ahead.
But no, I was just saying Mike brought her personally over here, so that was a little special too.
Yeah. And we went out to eat, and guess what, people?
Doberman talk all day,
and he talks English very well.
Yeah, very well.
None of that translation shit through WhatsApp. You know what I'm saying? So, but my question is like, was the experience, was it an easy transition? And do you see yourself? I see it's much more easier now because CDC put these regulations, but really they made us like think ahead. Like, you know what? Fuck it.
You're saving 16 months.
Yeah, easily. And then, like I say, the puppy is not guaranteed to be what you want. It's been a few times, not a few, a bunch of times in my lifetime where I've imported males that didn't fucking pan out, and I gave them away. Like, no money, here's the paperwork, is yours, right? Because they're just not either developing like I want them to, or don't have the temperament that I need them to, or the workability, because nothing's guaranteed in this dog game. But my question is to you is like, do you see yourself doing this going forward now? Because this does speed the process up when you got to wait.
Yeah, I see no other option. I mean, that's like I said, you're going to save yourself 16 months. You're going to get a dog that they were going to keep, that they actually took them to the shows themselves and they worked them out in the field. So that's always a positive also, opposed to, just getting a puppy that you don't know where you're going to get.
Right. Now, Eduardo actually has done protection work on and off the field. I want you to tell them about how you got into the Doberman game, where you got your first Doberman from, and what titles you personally put on the dog yourself. Not like I'm doing that.
Yeah.
People are putting titles on my dog for me, handlers, but just 12, 11 years ago, I was out there, 3-4 days a week, hours at a night, training to get ready for a show when I did the BH and the IPO 1A. So my question is like, how did you get into the Doberman world, man?
How did I get into the Doberman? Just watching your videos.
Mine?
Yeah, those working videos, man, they're addicting. That started about, I would say back in like 2019 or so. Then I fly pigeons also.
You don't flip them, you fly them.
Fly them.
Racing
homie pigeons.
Racing homie pigeons.
Vasquez lofts. So we actually won a big race, and I was like, it's time for me to invest in Doberman. I hit up a breeder here in California, Southern California, and he never replied back to me. So I just said, fuck it. Let's just, I hit up St. Creole, and she hooked me up with Leia, and I actually left the deposit, and she wasn't born until like 6 weeks later or something like that. So it's like, it was a long waiting process. And I mean, they want their money, obviously, to make sure that, you're a serious buyer.
And she was reputable.
So, yeah. And I send her the money, and it's like, it just becomes a waiting game. And, that was it. I mean, she came back. Then as soon as I brought her over here, used to tag Adrian a lot, Adrian Centennial. And I started the French ring. And, we got her CSAU and her French ring brevet. And I did it myself. Adrian threw me out there, and he was like, "No, you got to do it," which was the best thing anybody could have done, because you get a special connection with your dog.
Yeah.
And especially right now that she's pregnant, she just comes to you. She's more loving, and she just wants to be next to you. It's just a strong connection. So it was pretty good.
You've been through the fire with her, so
absolutely.
Yeah. So now, people, let's take about a year and a half back. We've tried to breed her twice. Was it 3 times? Or
no,
twice?
I've tried like 4 times. There was no success at all.
We did TCI and AI all those other times.
Surgical also. I tried surgical also.
And she didn't take.
Nope.
And I was like, man, Cisco got 1 trillion sperms in him. I think he hasn't been bred.
I think. Oh no, Cali was the first one.
Right. And I was like, man, this boy, we can't miss. We can't miss.
Well, shout outs to you too, man, because speaking to you, I literally had given up on breeding her. You told me about Cisco, and I was just like, oh man, let's just try it one last time, natural, and boom, she took. And as soon as that thing happened, it was, I couldn't even believe it. I had asked Tavo from 91 West. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Tavo.
I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? I asked him like 3 times, man. It was just joy. I
But
couldn't.
I told you, I said, man, excuse the language, people. I said, this bitch took. I bet she got a load of semen in her. I said, it's going to her brain, her ears. It's going to hit some of those eggs somewhere, right?
It was back to back. We did it
Yes.
on January 17th and 18th, I believe.
And we got a confirmation that supposedly 5. I'm thinking 6 or 7.
Yeah,
I think some are hiding behind each other.
Yeah, well, they did an X-rays today, and they confirmed 5 for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm always going to shoot for the most number. You know, these vet techs, sometimes they make mistakes.
I mean, honestly, I don't even care. As long as she's pregnant, I know she's good.
Yeah.
You know, it's for the future's bright for me.
So, people, if you guys want, and this is very rare. Let me tell you how rare this is. A lot of times here in the United States, especially in Southern California, 2 people put 2 dogs together, and both dogs have never been tested as far as temperament and ability. They look nice.
Yeah.
They have nice gaits, but we don't know, can they take pressure? We don't know if they put out skittish dogs. We don't know if they're proven on or off the field. And again, most people who buy dogs from us or Dobermans now, they're not looking for the utility aspect of the dog. They're looking for the aesthetics.
Yeah.
They're getting caught up in the looks. But this is going to be the first time in a long time that I bred to a female that is an actual titled dog. She has a CSAU, which is obedience portion of ring sport, and she also has a French ring brevet, which is a protection title. And all of those are difficult to do. These are not no goddamn CGCs, on leash only type shit. These are dogs that have trained for over 1.5 years to just get to this point. We had a debate over the phone today. So get back to that.
Fun times.
Yeah, we had a debate over the phone today. But before that, my question is to you. My statement to you people is that if you want a dog that is from proven parents, this is the litter you may want to consider. Now, we can't guarantee that they're gonna fucking work because it's really all about the dog environment, his temperament, what things you do to stimulate the puppy. But we are increasing the chances that you can get a dog that's a utility dog, whether it's work, show, or go.
And also, I just want to throw out there, there's videos of her on my Instagram of her working, you know, during her training process and stuff like that. I didn't hide anything. So they're there.
Yeah. So we had a debate today. I agreed and disagreed, which is kind of weird because I either agree or don't agree. And I said that IGP is much harder than ring sport as far as a portion of it. But you said ring sport is much harder than IGP, period. And I said, I agree and disagree. I agree that I disagree in the beginning. Like when you get an IGP 1, you have to do all 4 phases. You have to do tracking. You have to do BH. You have to do dumbbell. You have to do protection work to get 1 title. To get a ring 1, which is equivalent of a IGP 1, you have to compete twice.
Yeah.
You got to do the same shit on 2 different days. 2 different judges. Right. So in that aspect, ring sport is much more difficult than IGP, because IGP, you get a 65, a 70, a 70, fucking you pass. Right. But here, you got to pass for 2 different days, 2 different judges. So I want to elaborate, like, what do you see yourself with any other females that you got? Because we got some more females cooking. We'll talk about that later at some other point. But do you see yourself getting back into the ring sport?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the plan. This next female that I get, I'm gonna have the pick of the litter, obviously, and I'll definitely be working her. You know, I haven't been out there in a while, but definitely got to go back.
I told you, man, it's a lot of goddamn personal time.
And not to take like nothing away from like the IGP people. They're, as long as you work your dog, that's amazing. A lot of people don't do it. You know, they just, they'll just post pictures of them or something like that. But it takes a lot. It takes a lot of time and practice and money. And I mean, sometimes you're out there for fucking 7 hours.
Yeah. And when I competed in 2014, I didn't have my kids were teenagers. They're grown now. But I had just had a kid shortly after, right? And I noticed, like, damn, we out here with Wolfgang fucking 7, 8 o'clock at night. And Wolfgang people Wolfgang radar is located in Gardena. The lights that he has to be ran by a generator. So there's no.
Yeah.
So we got to get this shit in early. And when it rains, the ground over there gets saturated with oil because the ground is contaminated. That's why it's an open field. Nothing could be built on it. But we made it work. He had what it took, and it's a lot of time invested with the dog. You and the dog are become as one during that time. My thing is now because we got so many females that we're putting in the breeding program. How is it you're going to be able to juggle those? Are you using whelpers? Or are you going to just take off from work and use your vacation time?
So yeah, with Callie, she had a couple of puppies, but it was my mistake. I did some rookie mistakes, and I'm definitely not gonna do that again or take any risk. So today I actually took her to a whelper. Her name was Ruby Torres. Shout out to her too. So yeah, all puppies have to, stay alive. So I'm not gonna have that shit again.
So guys, when Eduardo first had his first litter, it was a learning curve.
Absolutely.
It was definitely a learning curve. She had how many?
So she had a total of 13. Out of 13,
only got how many nipples she got?
Oh, fuck,
8 or 10.
I haven't even counted them, to tell the truth.
Yeah. So basically, she didn't have. That'd have been tough.
Yeah. So 2 of them were born dead. About 3 of them were tiny, but I did have about 8 solid ones. Callie's pedigree is pretty stacked. So if you actually see her, daughter of Zephyr, granddaughter of Zeus, both top dogs out there in Russia, and they both won a bunch of shows also.
Yeah.
So the genetics are there.
Yeah. The DNA is in there.
Absolutely.
And I think, man, to be honest with you, I believe in you sometimes more than you believe in your stuff. I was like, yo, man, I said, Callie, I said, she may not have the aesthetics that people get gaga goo over.
Yeah.
But she has the DNA.
Yeah, she has the DNA.
And we're going to show you guys one of the puppies. What I mean by that, everybody has told this guy the puppies are nice, really nice.
Yeah.
And they come from people who see puppies all the time.
Yeah.
So when they make an effort to say, man, it's a fucking nice, what is the Spanish word for puppy?
Cachorro.
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 Cachorro. Cachorro. When a guy said a cachorro, a nice, that means like, yeah, that's fucking nice, because I'm not giving you high fives on chihuahuas and shit. I'm just not doing it.
So they just got the ears cropped this past Monday, and the doctor was all like, hey, I've seen some Dobermans and these are some nice ones. And today I took one for a health test. And
health certificate.
Yeah, the health certificate. And the doctor also told me, she was like, hey, I've seen a lot of Dobermans come through here, and this one's nice. So I mean, she's throwing them out there. I mean,
hey, we're gonna run it back on that one, I promise you. Just in about 4 months, we're gonna run it back while she's young. These dogs snap right back in there. These female dogs are genetically created to have puppies every 6 months.
Yeah.
To snap back.
And you've seen Callie work too. I mean, I had 2 years without taking her on the field, and I think she did a great job.
Let's talk about that. So here's the thing, guys. I took her to a field. A friend of mine, he has his own club, Sykes, Donnell Watts, over there, South Bay, Malinois, shout out. And I told him, I said, man, we got this female, and she just had puppies a month,
6 weeks ago,
6 weeks prior. And I said, we're gonna put her out here and see what she can do. And Donnell actually said, have we worked the dog? And I'm like, yeah, I seen him do rag work and shit.
That was it.
But never bit anything except the rag. And people, when I tell you, because she's from St. Creel too, right?
St. Creel, import.
When I say that the genetics kicked in, they fucking kicked in. And I mean, like Caleb as West Monix Exotics over there at South Bay, Malinois, Donnell say, hey, test her. These motherfuckers over there like, yo, you got to be a real dog. You got to be a real dog, literally and figuratively, to come on that field. No bullshit. And he tested her, and she was going after the rag. I said, okay, I know she can do that. And then she was going after Caleb. Once Caleb put the sleeve down, she still zoomed in on Caleb.
Yeah.
Which is cool, because a lot of times dogs get prey drive happy, and they get happy with the toy or the ball, the tug, and they say, fuck the decoy, I want to play with this. No, but she zoomed right back. I said, okay. So now I know that I knew.
Yeah.
Now I know that if we just put in some training with her, she could be probably one of the best Dobies.
Well, actually, that was the main reason why I got her. But then when she arrived, she was at the same time that my son was born, so that kind of took me away from it. Then I was going for Leo's ring one, and I just didn't have the time.
You kind of bite off more than you can chew usually, don't you?
I think that happens to everybody.
Yeah. We briefly talk about his pigeons. Then we're going to take some questions. Now, okay, so there's a difference between. First of all, let's get back to this. Hold on. We'll hold that one because this shit is interesting, people. Because I'm from the South, Mississippi, and we eat pigeons. We ain't flying them and flipping them and shit. To me, that's like eating possum and squirrel and coon and rabbit. But the guy that has actually put all this together, who made all this happen with what we just did and acquired recently, his name is Mike. And if you guys are interested in getting with a person who is in the community, the Doberman community, who is honest, who was connected through all the kennels over there, who will not let you get toasted, burned, or shitted on, because there's a lot of times I've heard a lot of horror stories of people send money and they don't get what they bought. They don't get nothing sometimes. And what is your recourse? What are you going to do? You're going to fly to Russia? You're going to come back in a box? Right? You're going to come missing with your head and your hands are coming. So it's all about the trust factor. So I want to put Mike's, he doesn't have Instagram, but he has Facebook. And he owns this page. This is how I met him a while back. He owns this page. And that's Mike right there. It's called The Doberman. And this is the website that I actually start finding litters. And I was hitting him up through there. Like, what about this litter? What about that litter? And he just reached out to me.
Super knowledgeable.
Yeah. It's like, yo, because you know,
always told me the pros and cons. And I was like very eager to get the dog already, or just to choose one. And he was like, you got to be patient. You got to be patient. So, I mean, that shit always helps.
Yeah. And it's rough for me to be patient because I have no patience. Right. But then the way he talks to you, even if it's via WhatsApp, is like, okay, I'm cool now.
And
so
he's quick to reply too. So shout outs to him.
Yeah, yeah. So he actually flew the dog over for us, which is cool. Now, guys, I'm gonna give you this news flash. Because of Casanova's passing, I always gotta have a plan B and plan C. Always. His brother was gonna get the male from the litter that I'm getting from now, but his brother was able to get a champion sire, a grown dog, which ended up being a phenomenal damn pet. It acclimated in the family with his kids and the other female dog. It's wonderful. So let me tell you how the universe works. So his brother forfeited his pick, which he would have got pick of the litter male.
Yes.
Only 2 males in his litter. And he said, I'm going to give it to you, Gerald. So I told Mike, I said, Mike, because Mike coordinated the whole thing. I said, Mike, I want that pick of the litter male. He said, Gerald, no problem.
Yeah.
Right? No problem. And this dog right here, he's going to be in the breeding program for goddamn sure. And this is one of those times where not only the father is stacked, the father is the same father, Titus.
Half brother to Titus.
Yeah. So Axel is IGP3. If you want to see his whole IGP trial routine, go to my YouTube. His whole trial is on there for his 3.
And he also wants some shows.
Oh yeah, damn sure.
So that's
hell yeah.
big.
Hell yeah. For a dog that's all natural with ears and tails, he's a hell of a good looking dog.
Yeah.
But the mama,
I'm actually you know, the ears and the tails, it's actually growing into me.
I'm still a little bit. I can deal with floppy ears. I can't deal with the tail.
The first 2 days, you're looking at him and you're like, I wish those ears were cut, but it starts growing into you, man.
To me, I can do natural ears, but the tail still got to go because I don't want to be asking those questions like, "What is that? Is that a coon hound?" No, this is Doberman, but he's unaltered. Yeah. Right. Mike is the guy. So guys, you guys write that information down. That's his name on Facebook. He's very personable. You can talk to him. His second or third language is English, so you ain't got to worry about doing no translation. in Polish. So let me go back here and put us on here because it's all about us right now. Um, so I had a few questions I want to ask. So, what is the earliest we can when Mike did the when he did the conception of the dogs? What is the soonest you guys that he can tell you that you can tell if the dog's pregnant or not?
Oh, he told me 21 days. They did an ultrasound. I don't know if it's a little different over there because right here I was always told 30 days
Minimal.
Yeah, so he did one at 21 days. Then he said she's confirmed. Then he did one right before he left, which was she was at 30 just to like confirm again. And but after the 21 days, he booked the flight and everything. He told me I'll be there next week. He did another one right before he left. Just for peace of mind, I guess.
Yeah. When I saw her, when Mike brought her over, she was already looking like motherfucker got lumps. Like she got lumps on her ribs. Like she's looking pregnant. She's got to be loaded.
That's the plan.
I mean, she's got to be loaded because she was looking pregnant at 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. So I know if you're looking big at 4 weeks.
Yeah. So right now it's just basically getting her acclimated to my house. It's only been a week. The last 2 days I have noticed like a big change in her, like as far as she's just more confident and stuff like that. She already got it, used to the routine, so she's doing good.
How's she doing with the other females?
I actually have her separate. They'll see each other for like a little bit for like 5-10 minutes, but she's been doing good.
How about her eating habits? Is she's eating pretty good?
First couple of days, she didn't really have an appetite, but the last like 2 days, she's been really digging in there. Started giving her some raw meat. She started eating it also.
What type of meat? Beef
just
or
chicken? Just chicken, yeah. Yes. Yesterday I gave her just the chicken leg and she tore it up. The first time I gave it to her like a couple of days ago, she didn't even want to touch it. So she
might have been used to eating raw.
No, I don't think they do it over there.
But once they eat that one piece of chicken, though, it's addictive. The only problem I have with raw chicken is that when you want to transition them back to kibble for a few weeks, they're like, I'm not eating that shit.
So I don't do 100% raw, just raw. I also do the kibbles and then I'll just give them a piece.
Yeah, I usually when I want to add weight on my boys, because usually the ones I'm getting when Al brings Cisco back, they thin the fuck out. Like you can see all the ribs because he's tracking them people. He's not mistreating them, but they're tracking. They got to be hungry. They got to be able to work. But when I have him, I go to El Super and I buy cases of hind quarters because chicken adds weight on dogs real fucking quick. Like they got the skin for the fat, the meat for the protein,
and the
bones for the calcium.
Yeah.
So, and it takes them a while to poop because their body is digesting everything. And once they do poop,
it's more solid.
It's solid. But then after a day, if you let it sit, it calcifies.
Yeah.
It turns into dust, unlike dog food, which is mostly filler.
And if you really think about it, it's literally almost the same price as kibbles.
Yeah.
It's probably even cheaper.
But here's the caveat, though. You got to have a designated freezer or refrigerator for it.
Well, I'm blessed to have a market right around the block from my house, so I just go every 3 days.
Okay. And then you put the access in your freezer?
Yeah, in the refrigerator.
Right, because you only have Gatorade, beer, and a couple of hot dogs.
No beer. No beer. Every once in a while, but no.
What do you think people need to know? Like we talked about it, and we're still learning this process now, people, because when you import a female that's pregnant from a sire that's from another country, what's the process, or do you know yet what's the process of getting her not only registered through AKC, but getting the puppies registered? Because that's going to be a process.
That's where Mike comes in.
Yes.
Yeah, and so right now we're just doing like the export pedigree. He just actually messaged me. I had to do some signing of some paperwork. Got to send him back. Then he's going to send me the pedigree with my name. Then from there, I just have to take it to the AKC. He gave me a breeding certificate. I'm going to have to show that to AKC, where the owner of Can is he's confirming that that the dogs were mated. Then that's pretty much it. I guess it's just a waiting game after that.
I wonder, they must have his DNA on database. I don't know, but how would they know if the sire is really the sire?
I have no idea.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and also other people, just so you know, We bred Leia almost 2 months ago, roughly 2 months ago. She's AKC registered, full AKC registered. But little did Eduardo know, this is his first time, is that once you import an animal, once you do the proper export application and you give them the proper documentation, you do get full AKC registration. But the litter, if you have a litter with that dog, whether it's a male or a female, before they allow the litter to be approved, we have to get DNA swab done on that particular dog. So that's what we got to do now. But that's only going to take about a week to get the swab, and another week and a half for them to do the DNA on profile. But that is part of the process when you import animals. And AKC is not a non-profit. Everything they do costs money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why not? Of course they'll take your dog. Of course they'll take the DNA. Of course you can do this and that. And if you don't watch it, when you're registering a litter, they have these preset clicks where if you don't know what you're doing, you'd have bought the whole damn pedigree, 4th generation, insurance. So watch what you're doing, because they stack that shit in there. You have to uncheck those boxes. What do you think people should know when importing a pregnant female? What do you think they should know that's most important?
I'm pretty much, Mike did everything for me.
So trusting the
person, yeah, absolutely. Then picking the sire,
and also knowing the exchange ratio.
Oh yeah, so yours is always gonna be a little bit more.
A little bit is bullshit. That's
you're looking at like 1,000 more or so, depending on the amount.
Damn near. Let's take some questions, man, here from some people. Thanks a lot, Mr. Nance. All right, great show. Thank you. Sup, guys? Appreciate it. Can you ask something? Yes, Keith, ask something. And how about this one? IK9 says, would agree the IGP is a sprint and ring is a marathon. That's true.
Man, I seen those Ring 3 trials. They're on the field for like 45, 50 minutes, 80, 90, almost 100 degrees. Those dogs are special.
Especially in Arizona.
Yes, those dogs are out there, and they're still going one speed. So respect to those dogs out there and the trainers.
Especially when you go to a trial, people, where it's open to the public and not closed behind doors. We talked about that today. We ain't gonna put no names on it, but there's a lot of politics, a lot of fuckery out there when it comes to these trials. So you want to be able to participate in a club, which we've been fortunate enough to be a part of. Adrian's club is, what's the name of his club?
Scabber, SoCal All Breed Ringers.
Yes, Scabbers.
Yeah.
Shout out to Adrian again. He was my guy 15 years ago. He actually won. Him and Yachty took care of Alonzo.
Yachty's great.
Yeah, Yachty's cool people. So,
and not only that, if you guys ever want to hit him up for something, if you guys are in SoCal, he doesn't just do protection work. Like he's also very knowledgeable with just basic obedience.
Yes, I'm gonna put his information up here too, people, so you guys can hit him up and be able to.
Speaks both Spanish and English.
Yes. So I'm gonna see here. What is that? It's called Scabber. What is that? Adrian. I'm just typing Adrian. Here we go. So this is Adrian's page, people. So in case you guys want to be able to hit him up. No, here we go. Is this it?
Yeah, that's Adrian right there.
Yeah. Is that one it here? There we go. So let me scroll down. Yeah, so this is Adrian's page. So guys, if you're interested in ring sport, he does do board and train. He does do basic obedience or protection work, but they are a ring sport club. And, I got bad love for Adrian. Him and his wife has always been good to me.
Yeah, Laura, she's wonderful.
Always been good to me. So let's take some more questions here. Let me get out of this. What is this? What do you think on PSA?
That would be you. I know nothing about it.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you what I know. I really like PSA.
Okay.
I think is one of the most
realistic, right?
realistic,
More
but it's
realistic.
challenging the dog because the higher you go, the more decoys are involved. Like with ring, there's only going to be one decoy during the whole process. With IGP,
I believe there's two.
two.
Yeah, so they alternate different exercises.
Well, I'm talking about on the field at the same time.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right. With IGP, one decoy. It may switch decoys to catch up in a blind or whatever, or switch out. But with PSA, I love the entry level protection title, which is the PDC, because everything is on leash. If you don't have fucking control with your dog on leash, then you ain't got control of your dog. Now, when you start going to PSA 1, 2, and 3, when they start putting in 4 and 5 decoys on the field at any given time, doing some motions and some screaming at you and screaming at the dog, water bottles, the dog has to be mentally stable.
Yeah.
So PSA definitely, I think, when you get to higher PSA 2 and 3, much more difficult.
Yeah, that's
than
what I heard,
ring.
though.
Much more difficult. So yeah, PSA, and it's more street realistic, I would say. But having control over your dog, doing obstacles while decoys are standing next to the fucking obstacles, PSA, bro, all day long. Now you're asking me shit. This is like master's degree shit. KMPV versus PSA. Now, from what I've been told,
I'm not even sure what that is.
Right, it's another sport.
Yeah.
Out there in Holland and shit like that. But from what I've been told, and this is just what I've been told, KMPV dogs in that sport is well more respected than PSA. And I think the more difficult the sport is, the more challenge it is for the dog and the more respect you get from doing that sport with your dog. And that's why you start seeing a lot of Malinois do that shit.
Yeah.
Or
those
Dutchess.
dogs, they're special, man.
They're special, but you know how I feel about
they're ugly.
They're ugly, but you know the other thing is too is like we talked about this. When a shepherd or a Malinois or a Dutch,
I know where you're going, and I 100% agree.
When a shepherd or Malinois goes onto a field, whether it's ring sport,
they're expected to do that.
They're expected like, let me go get some popcorn. Let me go take a piss.
Yeah, I agree.
Let me go drink a non-alcoholic beer. I'm like, it's nothing exciting about it.
Yeah.
It's like they can do this. That's what they do. It's like they can do 6 feet walls and shit. You know, it's like whatever. But when a Dobie steps on the field, or a Rottweiler,
everybody's gonna look,
or a giant Schnauzer, motherfuckers are not leaving their seat.
Yeah.
So it's almost like getting a car that has a 4x4 ability, but never uses a 4x4 option. And when he does use it, damn, I ain't seen this done in a while. So that's what I like about it, because when my boy Brody, when Brody went for his 1, people were watching. When he went for his 2, more people was watching because he got the 2.
Yeah.
When he went for his 3, he was the only non-shepherd out there. Even though he didn't pass 3 attempts, he blew track in, and he'll blow a blind, because each phase you're running more blinds.
Yeah.
Or he missed an article during tracking. But when he stepped out there, motherfuckers was on it.
Oh yeah, for sure. When I was out there with Leia, just doing her brevet, and when we tried for the ring 1, she was like, everybody stopped, and everybody was trying to compliment me afterwards.
Yeah, because again, it's a KMPV trial is the whole day. That's a lot of taxing on the dog.
Yeah,
a lot of taxing on the dog. Let's bring out, what is his name? Blue?
I just call it Red.
Red. Let's bring out Red. We want to see what Red. Now, this is one of the puppies that he just had with Killer Cali.
Killer Cali, yeah.
And Loco Cisco.
Okay, let me go get her.
Go get her. People, I haven't seen this puppy in person, but I heard they're phenomenal looking. Only 3 survived this first litter. We're finna bring a puppy on the show. Just got the ears, and we had to get the tails redone because the first vet really did too much. This is red. Wow.
Only 8 weeks.
Look at that look.
Hold on.
Let me just give them to me.
Yeah.
Hey, baby. Look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that.
They just turned 8 weeks on Friday.
Look at that profile.
17 pounds.
And this is from Callie, who is out of St. Creole, right? Who was Callie's father and mother?
So Callie's father's Scepter, and his mother was Halva. Halva's a daughter of Zeus.
Now, people, Google Zeus, St. Creole Zeus. Is probably one of the, there's only like maybe 5 to 8 dogs in the world that has been proven, that has been a proven dog on and off the field. And Zeus was a little bit, he was almost borderline oversized.
Well, if you see like a lot of the pedigrees from Europe, they are kind of a lot of dogs descend from Zeus.
Yes, he must have had well over 500-600 puppies.
Yes.
So this is him, man. Listen, and the ears are done perfectly. And what the Europeans are doing now, look at those ears, very straight. What the Europeans are doing now is that they're cropping. They're cropping while they're doing the ears now. And one of the reasons why they do it is because the mother licks the tail when they're first done, right? And the mothers is doing the tails and licking the tails, and sometimes the stitches can come out.
Yeah.
So I think
right now I actually have the puppy separated just because they've been messing with their ears. So I have them in like different little kennels.
Look at that. Look at that right there. This is phenomenal.
And that's 8 weeks.
This is Cisco and Killer Callie. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
And the other ones are just the same size.
This is beautiful, man. You know them. And let me tell you something. Eduardo doesn't take great videos, but the videos he sent, they definitely showed what the dogs look like, but they're very impressive in person. Look at that. And he's got a good disposition. Look at that. Oh my God. The tail's done again over. Look at that. Oh my God. Yeah, put him back up. This dog is nice. Yeah. I'm not bullshitting. We're running that shit back too, guys. We're running it back. We are running it back. We are running it back. Let me see here. Great conversation, gentlemen. Very informative. Gerald, you're getting better and better. Hey, that's what the goal is. The goal is to get better and better, right? I mean, and whatever mistakes I make, whatever I can improve, I'm willing to do this because I believe in this, right? So, Hollis Houghton, appreciate the positive energy. 1K9, in general, do you think you can build a protection dog by yourself and defense work without a helper? No, not at all. Too much defense is not good for a dog. Now, you definitely need to build a prey drive. You can do that on your own. But again, I think you always need a helper when you're trying to build a dog. And I believe in a lot more civil than defense work. But no, defense, I'm not a big fan of it, but I do like a little bit of defense, but civil all day long. Let me see what else here. Give here. He wants the dog. I'm telling you, man. Don't you think crop tails diminishes the agility? Oh, no. Let me tell you guys, and that's a good point, man. I like that. That's a good ass question. Go ahead.
So right now I'm still debating that keeper puppy that I keep. I think I might go natural. I actually kind of feel the same way. The dogs are there, the tail's there for a reason. They do it in Europe. Why not do it here?
Right. That may be, again, aesthetics wise, what I can do. But I won't say that it doesn't. I will say that Dobies are part greyhound. So with that being said, they are built for speed in all intents and purposes. Now, I do believe in keeping the tail on the Rottweiler because it's so much centripetal force and shifting left and right on a dime. And if you notice, Rotties, I know my boy, he's very athletic. Unlike most Rotties, he's really quick for his size. But when you look at a cheetah, when a cheetah runs, the cheetah tail is about fucking this thick, and it's always up like this when he's running. And it balances. It's like a balancing stick. So when the cheetah's going left, the tail goes this way, right? I don't know why people want to call me while I'm doing my podcast. This is bullshit. So when the cheetah's going this way, the tail's going that way to keep the cheetah from tipping over or rolling over, right? So to answer your question, the Doberman tail are never going to be super thick like a Rottie's tail. Therefore, I don't think it really serves the ability to be elusive or diminish their agility. I don't know.
They're also a lot lighter too. So, the thicker the dog, like the rots, the tail's going to be thicker, I would assume.
Look at he's getting. You a dog man, dog. He's talking about, thank you. Talk more. Hey, listen. Hey, check this out. If he's got a beagle too at home, just letting you guys know. He ain't just got Dobie. He's got a beagle. I got a Rottweiler. However, if you
go, the kids.
Yes. I interviewed a guy named Garrett Ferguson. Go to my page, Garrett Ferguson. He's a big time IPO Schitzen IPO IGP guy who's been in the game 30 years. All he breeds is Russian schnauzers. Giant schnauzers? Giant schnauzers. Yeah. Russian giant schnauzers. And he only breeds for the workability. So if I had the room, I would get a giant schnauzer. They're real dogs. There were only 2 dogs that was used during the Cold War, and that was Dobies and schnauzers. And they were real dogs. Now, Corsos, I just learned the difference between Corsos and Pressers by what they look like. Now, if I was to get one or the other, I would get a Presser. They look more of a bully type. I love that Brindle shit, man, on those dogs.
I mean, I don't really know too much about them. So
the Corsos drool too much, and they're more of a Border Mastiff looking dog.
Yeah.
Right. But the Pressers, they have that massive look, but they're not as wide headed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of those, they're just heavy dogs.
Yeah, they are.
They're super heavy dogs. So I mean, I don't know.
So let me see what else here. When I was growing up in the UK, I used to see them with docktails. They never cropped the ears. Well, yeah, the UK is putting bans. Actually, as a matter of fact, the UK.
The whole Europe, from what I heard.
Yeah,
dogs.
Actually, the UK now has banned XL bullies. That nobody can have them. Other than the UK right now, XL bullies are banned.
So Mike told me, as far as like the Dobermans, if their tails docked or the ears are cropped, that you can't put them into shows or anything anymore.
Certain parts, right.
Yes, I think there's only like one or two countries that still allows it.
My 7-year-old GS played with a beagle today. Hey man, beagles are nice. I love dogs that have a purpose. I think beagles were hunting dogs.
Yes.
So I love it. But you never had a problem with your dog howling.
No, she's actually pretty good. Actually, I picked her up from Lake Tahoe, which is like a 7-hour drive. Her dad's a grand champion. Her mom was like a champion, and she's beautiful. But I bought it for the kids. I don't think there'll be any breeding or anything.
It's for you, actually. It's your dog.
Yeah.
It's your dog. So people, I want to say thanks for coming in.
I just want to throw something out there.
Throw it out there.
Yeah, I just want to throw something out there. One of the reasons why we also went this route, because out in Europe, they have really high standards on their dogs. But then we come over here and we just settle for whatever it is that they give us. I think by going this route, having pick of the litter, and just moving forward like that is gonna, you're just gonna generations after generations of better dogs overall.
So basically, what we're trying to do here, people, is that whatever the European standard is, that's what we're trying to bring here. Because over here now, we Americans have been so fixated on aesthetics, and the aesthetics we've been fixated on has been the improper aesthetics that the Europeans wouldn't even let be on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody wants a big dog or a big, Doberman. At the end of the day, that's not what they want over there. They want a, working dog also, and let's bring them over here.
Yeah. Now I would say I love Mike. We have differences on what I like,
Yeah.
what he likes, but he knows what the actual standard is. And people remember the dog was created over there.
Yes.
So they know what the fuck they're talking about.
Everybody wants a European dog or wants the title of having a European Doberman. And at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't meet their standards. So to me, it didn't make any sense. By going this route, I think it's gonna make your chances a lot better.
Yep.
And that was one of the main reasons. And we talked about that too.
So what we're gonna do, first of all, we're gonna have another episode coming out, the adventures of Vasquez importing a pregnant female. We did the whole episode. My guy Miles, who runs my production and my videography and my editing. Shout out to Miles Meyer. Follow him on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, and type in the Mile Meyer. This guy, it wouldn't be me without him. So I want to give a shout out to him and plug him. But we got to bring, we need to start bringing some of the puppies up here and let people see them. Like when Leia drops her litter and when you get them back from the whelper, once they've had these shots, we need to bring a couple.
Oh yeah,
up
for
here.
sure. Yeah.
Just let people know, this is what the fuck we producing here, right? Until then, people, I want to say thank you for coming on, tuning in on your day off. Hope you have a great week. And remember, I always tell you this, be resilient, but be responsible. Until next time, take care.